Hey everybody, welcome to What's for Dinner.
Hi guys,
How's everybody doing today?
happy Sunday.
Yep, happy Sunday. We just got back from church and had dinner. We ate, we actually did a little bit different this time, didn't we?
Yes.
We actually ate tonight before we're doing the video, so.
Yes. Yeah, because sometimes we think, oh, people have seen it, and then we realize there's probably new people, so here we are.
And there's new stuff to talk about, and there's
Yeah.
probably a couple of new recipes in here that you did that people haven't seen yet.
Yep. So I made meatballs. So I took 1 pound of ground beef. So I took 2 pounds of ground beef and 2 pounds of pork sausage. I mix it together in a bowl. I use garlic salt and then Jane's Crazy mixed up seasoning. And then I flatten those, and then I buy the mozzarella pearls, which is in the specialty cheese section at Price Cutter, our grocery store. And then I put a couple pearls in between each flat piece of meatball, and then I make it into a ball.
So it's mozzarella stuffed meatballs.
Yep.
And you can see on the on some of these here, they've got a little bit of the mozzarella kind of melting out of them.
Yep.
They are absolutely delicious.
So these I did in the air fryer, and so again, I have the air fryer that has 2 shelves. The other one's in the sink, but this makes it very easy to do drumsticks and chicken thighs and meatballs.
Yep.
Hamburgers, ribeyes.
Yep. So these are the plain meatballs. I mean, they have the mozzarella in them, but they're plain as far as they don't have anything on them or they're not cooked in anything. And then you also did what?
I cooked these meatballs in leftover Alfredo sauce from earlier in the week. So I just cooked those, but again, you can see mozzarella pushing out.
Yeah.
And this was really good.
It was delicious.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I made the lasagna, which I guess we use loosely here because we don't put meat in it. I made lasagna with egg life noodles. So keep filming and I'll just get some.
Sure. Egg life wraps, right?
Yeah.
And we get those. You can get them at Walmart, Price Cutter here in Missouri, and then you can also get them at they actually have them at Sam's Club now. They sell them in a big box with like 3 or 4 of those packets like Teresa's holding.
Yep.
And they have a cinnamon one as well that comes in that box. So if you want to make desserts with it, the cinnamon ones are good.
So I just layered egg life wraps, and then just different cheeses: mozzarella, Munster, Swiss, provolone, ricotta.
Gotcha.
And then spaghetti sauce, I just used the Rayo's. There's another brand that is equally okay. It's like Victoria's or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember where we found it, but it's a lower sugar option.
Yeah.
For those who look into low sugar.
And then
Yum.
we made Rosette's dough mix.
Yes.
Into knots. That mine, I gotta ask her, mine fall. But anyway, these were rolls. I rolled them up like meatballs, and I dipped them in a ton of melted butter and fresh pressed garlic, and then sprinkled some parsley and Italian seasoning over it, and then I cooked it with the meatballs and the lasagna.
Yum. And then you put a little bit of rouse together for us in a bowl and heated it up for us to dip the garlic knots in. They were absolutely delicious.
Yes.
And these things. So like I wanted to back up a little bit. So you did a lot of prep last night on this. You prepped it for a while, and then you did some work today as well. But I would say we probably prepped, 50% of this food last night and the other 50% this morning?
No, well, just the lasagna I made last night.
Okay.
I would have prepped the meatballs, but 1, I don't have room in my fridge, and then 2, the ground beef was still frozen.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
I did that, and then while that was starting to cook, I mixed up Rosettes, which is easy. It's 4 cups of mozzarella cheese, and you melt that, 2 eggs, and you mix in the mix. So that's not that hard.
Yeah.
But the meatballs are, it's time consuming to stuff each one.
What else can you do with that Rosette? Specifically the dough mix here. Show that again. So this Rosette's dough mix, what else can you make with these, or what else do we use them for?
We have used them for hamburger buns, and we have also used them on Thanksgiving for biscuits.
Yep.
And we use them for dessert.
Yeah, I love it when you put like peanut butter and jelly, no sugar or low sugar, peanut butter and then sugar-free jam.
Yes.
And then also you like to do the cream cheese with jam.
Yeah, butter, cream cheese, jam, and then whipped topping.
You whipped cream, yeah, yum.
Yeah.
Right on.
So.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, we were going to talk about this too, but you can't smell this right now, but you know what's in the air and you can smell at your house? It's the smell of desperation of the 3-letter agencies that think they run our country. There was a new study released saying intermittent fasting of 8 hours or more increases your risk of heart attack by 91%. Okay, that's malarkey. There's a study showing that if you sit out in the sun for even an hour, it raises your chances of heart attack, heart disease. There was
birth control.
Oh yeah, there was
control.
There was a study saying that women are coming off of birth control because of misinformation. It's not misinformation, we're just now figuring it out. And then there was this dietitian that came on all the social media platforms and gave you good things to order, healthy things to order at McDonald's. There's not, but one of them was a vanilla ice cream cone. So,
well, in her defense, I will go to McDonald's and I'll order like 10 patties by themselves, like plain, no cheese, nothing on them but the patty. And she didn't do that, and that is actually pretty healthy. It's not that bad. Anyway, not defending her either.
But they probably cook them in seed oil. They used to cook stuff in beef tallow, and I can't keep them all straight. But
yes,
maybe they don't. But in a pinch, okay. But don't go getting a vanilla ice cream cone thinking you're getting something healthy.
Yeah, those options there aren't great. But this is what this is, talking about the CDC, the FDA, other, different governmental organizations and institutions that are talking about this, is it's literally the ultimate form of gaslighting. Mm-hmm. People are figuring out how to get healthy, how to get better, things they can do to take charge of their health. And it's eating into the bottom line of some of these companies. These companies have a tremendous amount of influence on the FDA and the CDC and other government organizations and the politicians. Yes. So those different institutions basically follow in lockstep of what they're being told to do. You would think it would be the other way around. It's not. So
no, just like you think the FDA does their own trials on medicines. They don't. They take the drug companies' studies. Yes. This is so silly.
Yeah, you can't make it up,
you
guys.
You can't, like when someone told me that, we were figuring stuff out, I was like, that's insane. But it's not.
So, anyway, not to get on too big of a soapbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do you have a question to ask me?
Me? Yeah, I totally do. I almost forgot we jumped way ahead of the game. I'm so sorry about that.
That's my fault.
So metabolically speaking. Yes. So again, when we're talking about metabolic health here, we're talking about our body and the insulin, wow, I have got insulin on the brain. Our body's relationship with insulin and sugar. In other words, what effects insulin and sugar have on our body. So with that being said, does any of this stuff you made today, meatballs, lasagna, the Egg Life lasagna, more meatballs, Rosette's garlic knots? Domix, or some of these toppings we did any of these cause your blood sugar to elevate and then therefore your insulin to spike?
They don't. And I even have CGM's continuous glucose monitor readings from people in the past eating Rosette's stuff. So no, because there's only fat and protein. Fat and protein do not spike sugar or insulin. The end. Carbohydrates do. And what they're peddling to you, especially diabetics, is eat your whole grains and your fruits and vegetables to stabilize your blood sugar. All it would take for you to wear a CGM for, 72 hours, and you would see the difference. Yeah. If you ate this stuff one day and you ate the stuff they told you to eat by the American Diabetic Association diet, that's all it would take.
Yeah.
It would be black and white in front of you.
So what specifically, when we talk about insulin and sugar, and your sugar elevates when you eat carbohydrate, and then of course your insulin your pancreas responds to that by cranking out more insulin, your insulin elevates. What is the problem that we have with that? What is it that it does that causes the problem?
Well, for one thing, when you activate insulin, you activate the clotting cascade that sets you up for heart attack and stroke. So that is why diabetics are now they're saying more than double, but I used to say you're at double the risk of heart attack and stroke. So it activates the clotting cascade, and then insulin is aggravating to tendons and joints. So it glycates the tendons and the ligaments and joints. Then you need, do you remember, I'll be 53 in a couple months. I remember never really knowing anyone that had hip replacements or shoulder repairs. Now, granted, everyone is exercising a ton now because people are eating wrong. And I also remember when I was younger, you'd see people running and you're like, why is that person what is that exercise? What do you mean?
That was like freakish behavior, like extreme.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I never knew anyone that had diabetes or cancer or joint repairs or hip repairs and all that other stuff. But it's from the sugar. Sugar aggravates your brain and the dopamine and serotonin and makes you have anxiety and depression and schizophrenia, bipolar symptoms worse. It makes you, insulin can exacerbate atrial fibrillation, which is an arrhythmia in the heart. It can cause, arthritis. I just had one of my blood pressure. Cancer. 95% of blood pressure. That's the one I was thinking of. Cancer. 95% of blood pressure is insulin. Mm-hmm. The end.
Yeah. You were talking about mental health stuff. So Chris Palmer is a great one on that. He's on Instagram. He's big on Instagram. Yep. But Chris Palmer, MD, he's big into talking about how a lot of our mental health issues today, of course, a lot of it is, different drugs that people are taking and whatnot. But a lot of it has to do with the way that we're eating.
Yes.
He's correlating the standard American diet with mental health issues.
Yep, because it causes mitochondrial damage. I have a CGM that I show everyone in the office of a diabetic woman. At the time, she was 59, and her CGM just goes like this all day long, and it feels like and looks like, and you act like that, sugar roller coasters, bipolar. So I'll get people in on occasion that say, I've been diagnosed with bipolar. Maybe, but let's clean up your food first. Let's get your sleep under control.
Yep.
Stress, many times we cannot do anything about.
Well,
I mean,
people talk about, let's talk about stress. So stress, exercise. Exercise is a fantastic way to deal with stress. It's not really for weight loss.
No.
People use it for weight loss, but it's not a very effective weight loss tool.
not.
What it is great for, though, is your mental health
Yes,
and stress.
for sure.
And there's a number of other things we could talk about, but just because you're talking about that now, I thought we'd harp on it a little
yeah.
bit.
But I mean, you can't ride sugar roller coasters up and down and think your day is going to go great and your kids aren't going to annoy you extra or your husband isn't going to annoy you extra. All the little things that bug you are exacerbated 1,000 times when your sugar's up and down.
Yeah. Just clean up your eating a little bit, get some sunshine and some exercise, and sleep good. And you're doing, it's sad to say, but you're probably doing better than 90% of your fellow Americans.
And do the opposite of what these experts are telling you. Or at least you can't even ask questions because they gaslight you.
But you need to scrutinize it on your own. Don't worry about them gaslighting you. Go out and do the research on your own. Follow some of these influencers that are tremendously knowledgeable on social media, or go to their websites. And man, the information about what we're talking about is free too. It's all out there.
Sure. And listen, I'm the queen of non-confrontation. I didn't wake up one day and go, I'm going to, like some of these other guys like Dr. Tro and Dr. Kenberry, I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to have my license threatened. I'm going to really tick everybody off.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
No, that is the farthest from my personality. But once you know it and you see it and you feel it, you can't not tell the world.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
1000%.
Okay.
All right, guys.
We love you guys. Tell us what you're having for dinner, for Sunday dinner.
Yep. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I think it's still live. You might have to stop it.